Good morning. It's a rainy Tuesday morning here in Vancouver. We're at the BCIT campus in Burnaby. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm Chris Brentlinger Grant.
And I'm Amar Khan, and this is the CBG show.
For October the 28th. It was a huge weekend in the NFL. We don't even know where to start. The Steelers dismantled the Indianapolis Colts behind Ben Roethlisberger's franchise record 522 passing yards and 6 touchdowns through the air. Even though Andrew Luck threw for 400 yards himself, it wasn't enough for his team on this day. Pittsburgh won 51-34.
The Steelers have been looking great recently and have won back-to-back games against playoff caliber teams in Houston and Indianapolis. They've been one of the bigger surprises so far this year. They've got a record of 5-3, but they should really be sitting better. 2 of their 3 losses have come at the hands of Tampa Bay and Cleveland. In a game that we here at the show whiffed on calling completely off, the New England Patriots destroyed the Chicago Bears 51-23. Quarterback Tom Brady connected with Rob Gronkowski 9 times. Gronk finished the afternoon with 149 yards with 3 touchdowns.
Reed Burston had Gronkowski in our fantasy football matchup this week, and I don't need to remind you about how much I hate the Patriots. This was really not a pleasant game to watch on many fronts over here. With the win, New England improves to a very solid 6-2. They've been on fire since that drumming they sustained at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs on September 29th.
Meanwhile, the Bears continue to underwhelm. They were a trendy pick by some analysts at the beginning of the season to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. But things seem to be going south quickly for Mark Trestman and company. The Bears now sit at 3-5, tied for last place in the NFC North with the Minnesota Vikings, and they're 3 games behind the division-leading Detroit Lions.
It was more of the same in Dallas, but also, it wasn't? DeMarco Murray and the Cowboys hosted third-string QB turned starter Colt McCoy and the struggling Washington Redskins on Monday Night Football in Dallas. Murray added to the incredible stats he's been putting up so far this year. Murray carried the ball 19 times for 141 yards. This was the 8th game to start the season in which he's rushed for triple digits, extending his NFL record. Murray also caught 4 passes out of the backfield for a total of 80 yards. He didn't record a touchdown, but his 221 yards from scrimmage are impressive enough in itself.
Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo left the game in the 3rd quarter after he took a hard hit to a surgically repaired back. Backup Brandon Weeden came in for a few series, but Romo toughed it out and came back for the Cowboys in the 4th quarter. You've got to admire a guy with the sort of toughness that Tony Romo's got. Colt McCoy, yes, you heard me. Colt McCoy led the way for the Redskins. He registered 299 yards and a rushing touchdown. The game was tied up at 17 at the end of the 4th quarter, so we needed overtime.
In the extra period, the Redskins won the toss and marched down the field. They settled for a Kai Forbath 40-yard field goal after a 9-play drive. The Cowboys weren't able to answer and promptly turned the ball over on downs, securing the win for the Redskins. Dallas's 6-game winning streak was snapped, and now they stand at 6-2. With the W, Washington improves to 3-5.
But really, how cool of a name is Kai Forbath?
A super cool name for a field goal kicker.
Game 6 of the World Series is happening tonight at 5:07 Pacific on Fox. If the Giants win, they'll secure their 3rd World Series in 5 years. They won a semi-decisive Game 5, 5-0 in San Francisco.
The pitching matchup will be veteran Jake Peavy against young flamethrower Yordan Ventura. Remember, folks, we called Kansas City in 7 at the beginning of the series, but we're not afraid of a 3-2 deficit. Go Royals.
On Sunday, it was revealed that 22-year-old outfielder for the St. Louis Cardinals, Oscar Taveras, and his girlfriend, Adila Arvelo, tragically passed away in a car crash. Our prayers go to both Tavares and Arvelo's families, and include the St. Louis Cardinals organization in our prayers. Players all across the league have been sending condolences about the passing of Tavares on Twitter.
Hockey news. Hockey Night in Canada, or known to non-Canadians as Saturday, featured some high-scoring games. The best game of the day went to the New York Islanders and Dallas Stars, with the teams combining for 12 goals. The Isles won 7-5 behind a Franz Nielsen Hattie.
Despite no shortage in goals, an odd takeaway was that Isles superstar and captain Johnny Tavares had 0 points. Nice to see Johnny T get some secondary goal support and not have to be a one-man team as in previous years. As of right now, head coach Jack Capuano is my Jack Adams Award recipient.
Games to keep an eye on and tune into when the Chicago Blackhawks welcome the Anaheim Ducks to town on Tuesday. This will be a powerhouse matchup featuring two teams who boast a strong top six. Get your popcorn ready.
Two more Tuesday games to switch back and forth are when the San Jose Sharks come to visit the Mile High City and play the Colorado Avalanche. Lastly, Dallas vs. St. Louis is another great matchup. St. Louis is coming off a major victory over Chicago last game.
Moving to Thursday, it'll be when the New York Islanders play the Colorado Avalanche. These are two of the youngest teams in the league and both tend to play a high-octane north-south game. It'll be Tavares, the first pick in 09, versus Matty Ice Duchesne, the third selection.
Saturday featured a major soccer rivalry as Barcelona visited the Santiago Bernabeu to take on Real Madrid in El Clasico. Neymar scored 4 minutes in for Barcelona off a Luis Suarez pass, who was playing in his first game since being suspended for biting Italy's Giorgio Chiellini during the World Cup. However, from there it was all Madrid who scored 3 times and converted on all their chances, while Barcelona failed to do so.
On this side of the pond, the Whitecaps needed a victory Saturday to get the last playoff spot as the Portland Timbers defeated FC Dallas 2-0, putting all the pressure on the Whitecaps. Kendall Waston played hero for the Vancouver Whitecaps on Saturday, getting the lone goal to seal a playoff spot. The Caps controlled most of the game, but failed to capitalize in the first half. Waston's goal came off a set-piece corner played in by Caps MVP Pedro Morales. The Whitecaps traveled to FC Dallas to play in the wild card game on Wednesday.
What a game that was.
We were both there.
Live, nothing like MLS soccer, to be honest.
That was the most exciting I think I've ever seen you.
Like, that was a great ticket. MLS soccer, wow, like, great product.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama. As if making $7 million wasn't enough, Alabama Crimson Tide's head coach Nick Saban has had his house paid off by boosters. The Crimson Tide Foundation bought the Tuscaloosa house for $3.1 million from Saban, then awarded it back to him while continuing to pay the taxes for it.
The organization had previously done the same for the late Bear Bryant also. Odd to think that if a player has some pizza bought for them, that violates NCAA regulations, but this is perfectly okay. For the CBG show, I'm Amar Khan.
Chris Brentlinger Grant.
We hope you tune in next time.
Thanks for listening.